Can you imagine using a phone with 20 gigabytes of RAM? That could soon be a reality, as Huawei is reportedly getting ready to launch its first smartphone with that much memory later this year. According to a well-known tipster called Digital Chat Station, Huawei is working on its second major flagship lineup of 2025, and this series might include a model with 20 gigabytes of RAM. That would be a first for Huawei and a big step up from its current highest RAM offering, which is 16 gigabytes. This new phone is likely to be part of the upcoming Huawei Mate 80 series, which is now under development and expected to be announced before the end of the year. Now, let's break down what that much RAM really means for a smartphone. RAM, or Random Access Memory, acts like short-term memory for your phone. It stores temporary data that helps your apps run smoothly and lets you switch between tasks quickly without lag. The more RAM you have, the more apps and processes your phone can handle at once. This is especially helpful if you're someone who likes gaming, editing photos and videos, or multitasking with several apps open. Over the years, phones have gone from 2 gigabytes to 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes, and some high-end models now offer 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. Some brands, like OnePlus, have even reached 24 gigabytes. If this leak turns out to be true, Huawei will join that ultra-high memory club with its new 20 gigabytes variant. But that's not all the Mate 80 series might bring. The same tipster also mentioned that Huawei is testing a new chip packaging technology for this upcoming flagship. While the exact details of the chip haven't been shared, it's likely to include some kind of upgrade to 5G performance. This could mean better signal strength, faster internet speeds, and more efficient power usage, which is important for heavy users. Huawei has been pushing forward in chip development despite facing challenges in recent years, and this new phone could show how far they've come. The combination of more RAM and a new generation chipset could also improve the phone's artificial intelligence features. More memory means the phone can handle more complex tasks at the same time, like live photo editing, smart translation, or advanced camera functions. As for the Huawei Mate 80's launch, nothing has been officially confirmed yet. However, based on past release patterns and the current rumors, the series could be announced sometime in the last quarter of 2025. That gives Huawei enough time to fine-tune the new hardware and prepare for a global release. It also suggests that Huawei is not just competing in design or software, but is also working hard to catch up or even beat some of the other top Android brands when it comes to hardware specs. Of course, we should remember that none of this. Have you ever waited for something exciting, only for it to suddenly get cancelled without a clear reason? Well, that's exactly what just happened with Google's special Pixel 10 event. Google had a secret event planned for its most loyal fans called Pixel Superfans. This wasn't your usual tech event. It was something rare and special. Selected fans were supposed to get a first look at the new Pixel 10 well before the phone hits the stores. The event was planned for late June, a full 2 months before the Pixel 10's expected launch in August. People were excited, invitations were sent out, and hopes were high. But now, it's not happening. Just days ago, Google started telling invitees that the event is cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. That's all they said. No clear explanation, no warning signs, just a sudden change of plans. Now, instead of the early sneak peek, Google is offering a new event called the Pixel Superfans Insider Event, now scheduled for September 4th. But there's one problem by then. The Pixel 10 will likely already be released, so the magic of an early look gone. This new event will still let fans meet the team and check out the products in person, but it feels more like a meet and greet than an exclusive preview. So why did Google cancel it? That's the big question. Some people think it's just a scheduling issue. Maybe the venue wasn't ready or the devices weren't fully prepped for hands-on demos. Others wonder if this means the Pixel 10 launch itself might be delayed. So far, reports still point to a mid to late August release, so officially, nothing has changed. But still, when something this last minute happens, it makes people wonder, what's really going on behind the scenes? The original event, called the Pixel Penthouse, was supposed to give superfans early access to Google's upcoming gadgets, not just the Pixel 10, but probably other devices too. And in the world of tech, early access means everything. It helps build hype, trust, and keeps people talking. Missing that moment could slow down momentum for Google, especially when its biggest rivals like Apple and Samsung are moving fast. Both companies are already going big on artificial intelligence and camera features. If Google wants to keep up, the Pixel 10 has to land strong and on time. And that's why this cancellation matters. It's not just about the event, it's about the message it sends. For now, the only thing we know for sure is that fans will have to wait until September 4th, which is after the phone is expected to go public. That takes away some of the surprise and honestly, some of the excitement too. The Pixel 10 is still one of the most talked about Android phones this year.
Would you buy a phone just for how good it looks, even before knowing what it can do? That's exactly what's happening with Huawei's latest flagship phones, the Pura 80 Pro and Pura 80 Pro Plus. These phones didn't even need flashy ads to grab attention. Their design alone started a wave of curiosity, and now that they've officially gone on sale, people are lining up to see if the features match the looks. Let's take a closer look at what makes the Huawei Pura 80 Pro and Pro Plus such big news right now. Huawei launched the first official sale of these two smartphones in China through VMall, and they're calling them the most advanced Pura models yet. The Pro and Pro Plus are out now, while the Standard and Ultra models are expected by the end of this month or early next month. Now, on to the phones. The Huawei Pura 80 Pro comes in 3 storage versions: 12 GB RAM with 256 GB storage, 6,499 yuan; 12 GB RAM with 512 GB storage, 6,999 yuan; 12 GB RAM with 1 TB storage, 7,999 yuan. Color options: you can choose from gold glaze, glaze white, and glaze black. Each one looks glossy, premium, and definitely stands out. If you're aiming even higher, the Huawei Pura 80 Pro Plus steps it up with 12 GB RAM with 512 GB storage, 7,999 yuan; 16 GB RAM with 1 TB storage, 8,999 yen. This one comes in more colors: glaze red, green, white, and glaze black. But the real story isn't just the looks or the price. It's the hardware packed inside. Both phones have 6.8-inch OLED displays with full HD plus resolution, a 120Hz refresh rate, and an eye-blinding 3000 nits peak brightness. Whether you're watching videos or scrolling under sunlight, the screen is going to look sharp and super bright. The Pro Plus version is also protected by Huawei's second-generation basalt-tempered Kunlun glass, which is said to be 25 times more drop-resistant and 16 times more scratch-resistant than before. That's a big deal if you've ever dropped your phone on concrete. And now, the part most people are excited about: the cameras. Both the Pura 80 Pro and Pro Plus have the same quad camera setup: a 50-megapixel main sensor that's 1 inch in size, a 48-megapixel macro telephoto lens, a 40-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 1.5-megapixel multispectral sensor. These phones can zoom up to 4x optically and 100x digitally. On the front, there's a 13-megapixel selfie camera with advanced shooting modes. But this camera isn't just about numbers. It's built to take clear, stable, and color-accurate pictures, even when zoomed all the way in. Whether you're shooting landscapes or a cup of coffee on your table, it's going to look great. The battery isn't small either.